There are 1.3 billion people with disabilities in the world, but technology has the ability to empower people with disabilities to live a life they wish and, most importantly, they deserve. Hello, everyone. I'm Navya Agarwal, a senior software developer at Adobe, and I have never been more excited to talk about the recent advances in Gen AI and how it can bridge the gap between accessibility and technology. But I'm also concerned that the data we use to train our LLMs includes biases against people with disabilities. Over the next few minutes, we will explore this intersection between AI and accessibility. We will also learn the positive impacts of AI tools. We will also explore some of their shortcomings. And along the way, we will learn the role of humans. But first, we need to dig deeper into the concept of accessibility. We generally talk about people with disabilities because of barriers, and this leads us to the accessibility equation. Disability is equal to people into barriers. But what if barriers is equal to zero? Disability isn't a personal health issue, but you are disabled by society. For instance, consider a building which only has staircase, which is a barrier, and lacks a ramp or an elevator for a person in the wheelchair. It means the problem isn't the person in the wheelchair, but the way the system has been designed to exclude that particular person. If you give a blind person a text in braille, he becomes abled. And I think that is really powerful. Disability isn't limited to a person in a wheelchair or someone who has vision disability, but it also extends to our day to day scenarios, like a person with a broken arm who is struggling to type or carry things or open doors. Maybe someone who is holding grocery bags in both hands and is trying to get into a building or use their phone. Imagine a cyclist wearing gloves in winter and he struggles to use touchscreen or fine motor controls. A person holding a baby, a pregnant lady, and the list is endless. Accessibility is just making sure that everyone has access to things. Let's see how we can make barriers in technology or web equal to zero. But before, I have a small video for you all. Let's roll it.
Hi, I'm Cece, and I'm 47 years old, and I've been blind since birth. I've been using technology for many, many years now for almost any aspect of my life. Once you're heavily dependent on technology, an inaccessible website with poor interaction with a screen reader can make things much more difficult. Well, you know those colorful ads on the internet with beautiful women walking down the beach and it says 50% off? I'm sure you've seen those. Well, I haven't. And that is because these pictures, these ads are usually unlabeled. So there's no alternate text to describe the ad. And there's no text to describe a scene and to tell me about this. And so my screen reader would just say graphic, graphic, graphic. It wouldn't read me the text, and I wouldn't know about this offer. And then I wouldn't be able to buy those beautiful bikinis.
Let's embark on the journey of helping Sissy buying those beautiful bikinis leveraging AI. And this brings us to today's topic, building accessible UI using GitHub Copilot. Today, our focus is going to be on two things: accessibility and AI tools like GitHub Copilot, Cursor, etc. But the first question is what GitHub Copilot is. If you don't know already, GitHub Copilot is an AI tool that helps us to write better code. AI tools like Copilot, Cursor, ChatGPT, they are popping up every day now and then, have the potential to significantly enhance the accessibility of the code or product with appropriate guidance and coaching. However, it is absolutely crucial to be mindful of certain considerations while using these tools, and this is what we're going to see today. All of us must have built custom components like tooltips, date picker, dialogues, etc. Today, we will be building an accessible reusable component, which is a row of thumbnails, as you can see on your screen. These thumbnails, they can be selected, disabled, checked, etc. And we will be building with the help of GitHub Copilot. So I started coding, as you can see on the left side of the screen, with zero accessibility considerations. And I bluntly asked Copilot, suggest improvements for accessibility. And the first thing it suggested me was to replace a div with a button element. But let's see the demo with these changes.
Thumbnail, button, main. You are currently on a button. To click this button, press Control, Option, Space, Thumbnail, button. You are currently on a button. To click this button, press Control, Option, Thumbnail, button. You are currently on a button. To click the thumbnail, button. You are currently on a button. To click this button, thumbnail, button. You are currently on a button. To click this.
Now, if you're hearing this, you are only hearing button, button, and a button. None of this actually makes sense. It just says there is a bunch of buttons. Go figure it out on your own. So let's tell this to GitHub Copilot, basically complain it. So this is me complaining to GitHub Copilot that when I turn on my screen reader, all I hear is button. It did not tell me the type of checkbox, what it can be selected, etc. And let me just zoom out the result for you. So this is the prompt that I give GitHub Copilot, and this is what the response it gave me. So it told me this time to add appropriate ARIA attributes and associate a label with it. So it gave me the role as checkbox. It also told me to write ARIA checkbox, whether it's selected or not. It also gave me an attribute named ARIA labeled by, and also a tab index. I was like, this looks good. Let me just try it out.
Link, button, link, skip to sidebar. Balloon, unchecked, checkbox, main. You are currently on a checkbox. To select or deselect this checkbox, press Control, Option, Space. Sunglasses, unchecked, checkbox. You are currently on a checkbox. To select or deselect this checkbox, press Control, Option, Space. Cat, unchecked, checkbox. You are currently on a checkbox. To select or deselect this checkbox, press Control, Option, Space. Dog, unchecked, checkbox. You are currently on a checkbox. To select or deselect this checkbox, press Control, Picture, unchecked, checkbox. You are currently on a checkbox. To select or deselect this checkbox, press Control, Option, Space.
This looks good. It is announcing the labels associated with the thumbnails. It is telling whether it's checked, as in selected or not. And this gives our first learning. So, with slight changes to the prompt, we can make significant changes in the output. Clearly define what you want, including constraints, expected output, and context. Ambiguous prompts leads to unpredictable results. This certainly looks good, but is that all? Of course not. While learning about accessibility and GitHub Copilot, I found this really cool blog by Microsoft folks where it tells GitHub Copilot on how to act, how to code, and what references to use. On your screens now, you will be seeing this particular prompt curated by GitHub Copilot team, specially for accessibility. I decided to give this a try as my input to GitHub Copilot, and let's see what response it gives me this time. As I wrote this prompt to GitHub Copilot, this time it tells me to use a input element instead of a checkbox. Okay, this is new now. So I decided why not give it a try and see what the screen reader says to me this time.
Link, skip, entering components, thumbnail button, multi-select frame. Thumbnail balloon, unchecked, checkbox, main. You are currently on a checkbox. To select thumbnail sunglasses, unchecked, checkbox. You are currently on a checkbox. To select or deselect this checkbox, press Control, Option, Space. Check. Thumbnail sunglasses, checkbox. Unchecked. Thumbnail sunglasses, checkbox. Thumbnail cat, unchecked, checkbox. You are currently on a checkbox. To select or deselect this checkbox, press Control, Control, Option, down, Control, off. Control, Option, down, Control, off. Thumbnail dog, unchecked, checkbox, check. Thumbnail dog. Checkbox. You are currently on a checkbox. To thumbnail picture. Unchecked. Checkbox. You are currently.
Excellent. This time I felt that now I have actually built a truly fully accessible component. It is adhering to the 2.2 standards of YCAG. It is doing the keyboard navigation. It is doing the checking, unchecking, and everything. And this leads us to our second takeaway. We need to make sure that we are using reliable sources for answers. Use comments, examples, or links to guide the tool with accurate and relevant information. As you can see that this reusable component also takes it an attribute disabled. So I decided why not to try it out with one of the components and let's see how screen reader reads it. So I ended up adding a disabled true attribute to one of the thumbnails in the list. And let's just run our storybook and see what the screen reader says.
Voiceover on link. Change hide clear. Zoom enable change vid go through link. Copy link. Skip thumbnail balloon. Unchecked. Checkbox. Main. You are currently on a checkbox. To select or deselect this checkbox, press Control Option Space. Thumbnail sunglasses. Unchecked. Checkbox. You are currently on a checkbox. Thumbnail cat. Unchecked. Checkbox. You are currently on a checkbox. To select or deselect this checkbox, thumbnail picture. Unchecked. Checkbox. You are currently on a checkbox. To select or deselect this checkbox, press Control Option Space. Okay. In case you guys notice, the screen reader skips the disabled thumbnail from the list. It is taken out of the accessibility tree. But for a visually impaired person, he or she would assume that there are only four thumbnails on the screen and not five. I assumed that I was doing everything right, and I don't know what really happened. And this gives us our third takeaway for today's talk: anticipate errors. It is important to tell the tool that it may be wrong or missing out on something, explicitly mentioning the edge cases, potential pitfalls, and missing details that the AI should account for. So let's go ahead and complain Copilot about this. And this is me telling GitHub Copilot that when I ran the above code on screen reader, the disabled attribute or the thumbnail wasn't getting announced. And let's see what GitHub Copilot responses us. Interesting. This time, GitHub Copilot told me to use a ARIA disabled attribute and add it to your component. And it also gives me the reasoning why ARIA disabled attribute is required. And okay, good. This looks good. So I ended up adding the ARIA disabled attribute to my code and, of course, test it out. Let's see what happens when I now add this suggestion that GitHub Copilot just gave me. Voiceover on QuickTime Player. Chrome. Thumbnail balloon. Check. Checkbox. Uncheck. Thumbnail balloon. Check. Thumbnail sunglasses. Uncheck. Checkbox. You are currently on a checkbox. To select or deselect the thumbnail cat. Uncheck. Checkbox. You are currently on a checkbox. Check. Thumbnail cat. Checkbox. Uncheck. Thumbnail cat. Checkbox. Thumbnail dog. Dimmed uncheck. Checkbox. You are currently on a checkbox. This item is dimmed. Thumbnail picture. Uncheck. Checkbox. You are currently on a checkbox. To select or deselect this checkbox, press Control Option Space. Check. Thumbnail picture. Checkbox. Action button activated. Button. You are currently on a button. To click this button, press Control Option Space.
Looks like we are good now. It did announce the dog thumbnail. It also told that it's a dimmed kind of checkbox, meaning to say it's disabled. And now anyone who is visually impaired would note that there are not four, but five thumbnails, and one of them is disabled. So this leads us to the fourth learning of the day, which is iterate and refine. We need to adjust and test our prompts based on the output, refining them for better accuracy and relevance. So, after so many manual inputs and manual testing, the list is finally accessible. First of all, Copilot made a lot of errors today, and that's not hugely surprising. We are seeing a potential danger that the stuff produced by AI tools may be inaccessible by default, and worse, if somebody who has good intentions but not a lot of knowledge asks AI tools how to make a website accessible, may be convinced by the false confidence of AI tools. Second, we need better training data. No doubt these tools are powerful, and that's where the future lies. But it is possible that the data may not represent the diversity of all individuals. Today, I may be one of the few people to use AI for accessibility. Models learn. Every drop in the ocean counts. From a year or two from now, it will give us more accessible solutions. However, we also have an opportunity to address these issues and work on them. Effective prompting. Prompt engineering is where all the power of AI lies. We already saw the recipe of a good prompt. There are a bunch of tools to help us catch these accessibility errors. We have testing at various levels, be it evaluation tools, for example, Score. We also have automated tests for accessibility that may be written using Playwright. But in reality, accessibility is about people, and we cannot automate people like we automate code. So we really need manual testing when it comes to accessibility. And third is having humans in the loop. ChatGPT or any AI tool for that matter cannot feel or understand what it is to feel blind or disabled. It cannot understand the empathy to get it right. But we humans, we care about people. Treat GitHub Copilot or any AI tool as a junior developer. And as a senior developer, it is your responsibility to check whether the suggestions you provided are aligning with your project standards and ethics. I want to leave you with one thought today. Accessibility isn't more work. The work was incomplete. Thank you, everyone. This is me on LinkedIn if you want to follow me or connect. Thank you.